Hare Krishna. In the Padayatra of 1994 at Pittalgaon of Western Odisha, Sri Srimad Gour Govinda Swami Maharaj narrated the Damodar Leela. We may have heard or read these childhood pastimes of Lord Krishna, but listening it from Srila Gurudev has a different experience, and therefore we are presenting this narration of Srila Gurudev in English language. Approximately 5000 years ago, Lord Krishna descended into this world and performed his divine pastimes in Brajadham as the beloved son of Nanda Maharaj and Mother Yasoda. But how many can truly grasp the depth of these pastimes? In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna proclaims, Mattah parataram nanyat kinchid asti dhananjaya. O conqueror of wealth, there is no truth superior to me. He tells Arjuna, I am the Supreme Being. Everything and everyone is under my control. The Chaitanya Charitamrita echoes this truth. Ekale Ishwara Krishna arasabha bhritya. Jare jaiche nachaye se taiche kare nritya. Lord Krishna alone is the supreme controller, and all others are his servants. They dance as he makes them do so. Yet, in the Damodara pastime, the Supreme Lord who controls the entire universe is seen as a mere child running in fear from his mother's stick. The Lord who is beyond all bondage appears bound by love. Scriptures declare, Harisayat Sambidhi Siva Suresa Pranimitam. All beings including Brahma, Shiva, Indra and all celestial deities are subordinate to the Supreme Lord. Yet Krishna himself says, Aham Bhakta Paradhino. Krishna, the all-powerful Supreme Being, becomes bound by the pure love of his devotees. The great scriptures affirm, Suddha Bhave Brajeshwari Karaye Bandhan. It is pure love, Suddha Bhakti, that binds the Supreme Lord. In Vaishnava Bhav, Mother Yasoda bound Krishna not with a rope but with the unbreakable cords of love. Can anyone bind the Lord? No one can, but love alone can. Mother Yasoda has bounded up Gopal with the rope of love. As stated in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Bhakta ama preme bandhiyache hridaya bhitare, jaha netra pade taha dekhoye amare. A devotee, through the power of pure love, binds me within his heart. Wherever he looks, he sees only me. Similarly, the Hari Bhakti Subodhaya declares, Sada muktosi baddhosmi, bhakta nam sneha rajjubhi. Though I am always free, I am bound by the ropes of my devotees' love. Isn't this astonishing? The Supreme Eternal Independent Lord becomes bound. The Damodar Leela teaches us that only pure devotion allows one to understand the divine play of the Lord. This is not an ordinary pastime, it is a profound transcendental mystery. The Supreme Lord, who have creates bounds the living entities in this material world, is now bounded up by a devotee. Foolish people cannot comprehend it. Only those who have bhakti can understand. Do you have bhakti? Because this is a matter of pure devotion. It is to be understood in tattva. Lord Krishna is always engaged in divine pastimes. He has become a makhan chor, the butter thief. Every day the gopis would complain to Mother Yasoda, Oh Maya, your son is so mischievous. He sneaks into our homes and steals our butter. Can't you control him? Hearing this, Mother Yasoda was puzzled. Why would my son steal butter? Our house is overflowing with milk, curd and butter. Nanda Maharaj owns thousands of cows. There is no scarcity here. Why would my son need to take butter from your homes? Yasoda Maya finally decided to ask Gopal directly. Tell me the truth, Gopal. Did you steal butter from Gopis' houses? Innocent-faced Krishna shook his head vigorously. No, Maya, I did not eat any butter. But Yasoda was not convinced. Really, you didn't eat any butter? No, Maya, I didn't. Then why is there butter smeared all over your mouth? Krishna pouted and replied, Maya, these gopis must have smeared butter on my face just to frame me. Every day the same complaints poured in. One day Yasoda saw Krishna feeding butter to the monkeys. She scolded him. Kanha, you keep company with these monkeys and now you are stealing butter to feed them too. I know everything. But Krishna, as always, had a clever answer. Maya, these monkeys once helped Lord Rama so much, but he couldn't feed them properly because he was living in the forest. Look how hungry they are. They stretch out their hands, begging for butter. How can I not share with them? Hearing Krishna's sweet words, Mother Yasoda's heart melted. Still she wondered. Our house is overflowing with milk, curd, butter. Then why does my son steal from others? Could it be because I don't personally make the butter for him? The maids prepare it, but not me. Perhaps Gopal does not like it as much. With newfound determination, she resolved, from today onwards, I will make butter for my Gopal with my own hands. I will milk the cows myself, boil the milk over the fire, churn the curd with my own hands, and prepare the butter for him. It was the early hours of dawn and Mother Yasoda had already woken up. She had a special task at hand, to churn fresh butter for her beloved son Gopal. She went to the cow shed and chose Kala Dhenu, the most revered cow, and began milking her with great affection. She collected the fresh milk in a large earthen pot and set it over the fire to boil. Mother Yasoda, with the purest motherly love, was determined to prepare the best butter with her own hands, just for her dear Krishna. The household maid always took care of this task, but today Yasoda Maya decided to do everything herself. As the early morning air filled with the sweet fragrance of fresh milk, Yasoda Mata sat down to churn the curd, her bangles jingling rhythmically, runjhun, runjhun, as she pulled the ropes back and forth. She was completely absorbed in Krishna's thought, softly singing about his divine pastimes, her heart overflowing with love and devotion. Not for a single moment did Krishna leave her thoughts. He was present in every beat of her heart. Meanwhile, Krishna woke up. He looked around. His beloved mother was not beside him. Maya, Maya, he called out in his sweet innocent voice. Hearing her little Gopal's cries, Yasoda Mata immediately responded, Oh my dear child, I am right here, making fresh butter just for you. Come to me. Hearing this, Krishna rushed to his mother, climbed onto her lap and lovingly began to nurse. Yasoda Mata continued churning the curd while watching over her son with affection. But suddenly she noticed the milk on the stove was about to boil over. She quickly put Krishna down and ran to remove the pot from the fire. Krishna was furious. How could Maya leave me like this? He thought. His teeny face turned red with anger. In his childish rage, Krishna saw a small stone lying nearby. He picked it up and cracked. He broke the pot of butter that Yasoda Mata had painstakingly prepared. Then, with a mischievous giggle, he ran into another room, climbed up a wooden stool, and began stealing butter from another pot. By now, Krishna had gathered his faithful friends, the playful monkeys of Vrindavan. Sitting among them, he gleefully shared the stolen butter, laughing as the monkeys eagerly licked the creamy delight from his little hands. When Mother Yasoda returned, she was shocked. The broken butter pot lay on the floor, while butter scattered everywhere, and Krishna was missing. This little thief has done it again, she exclaimed, exasperated. Yasoda Maya was furious. Every day she heard complaints from the villagers, Your son Gopal steals butter from our homes. If one day Krishna will not go to their homes, all will come and ask what happened, why Krishna has not come today. And if Krishna goes, they complain, he is stealing butter from our homes. The Lord's pastimes is not easy to understand. Only those who have received the intelligence from the Lord, Dadami Buddhi Yogam Tam, only they can understand it. So everyday complaints was coming from gopis, and now today he had broken the butter pot in his own house. But where is Gopal? She wondered. Then her sharp eyes caught sight of teeny footprints on the ground, soft, delicate, and red lotus-like imprints, leading to another room. Following these footprints, she reached the place where Krishna was happily feasting on butter, surrounded by a group of monkeys. Laughing joyfully, he was feeding them mouthfuls of fresh creamy butter. Seeing this, Maya's anger shot up to the sky. "This time I will not let him go," she declared, grabbing a stick in her hand. She slowly, quietly approached Krishna, determined to catch him red-handed. But the monkeys noticed her first. The moment they saw Yasoda Maya standing there, stick in hand, they jumped in fright, squealing loudly as they leaped out of the house, scattering in every direction. Krishna, still licking butter from his fingers, turned around and froze. There stood Maya, her eyes blazing, her stick raised. Before she could say a word, Krishna jumped down like a monkey and ran for his life. Then the great chase began. Yasoda Maya ran after Krishna. "Today I will catch him for sure. Today I will tie him with a rope." Krishna darted through the courtyard, his movements swift and unpredictable, like a serpent gliding through water. But Maya was determined. She chased him, being a little plump, struggled to keep up. Her heavy anklets jingling with every step, her jewelry rattled, her garland slipped, and her braid loosened. But she ran with all her might. But no matter how fast she ran, Krishna was always a step ahead. The Lord of the universe was running afraid of his mother's punishment. This is Damodar Leela, one of the most beautiful and divine pastimes of Lord Krishna, where the Supreme Lord, who holds the entire cosmos within him, is bound by the love of his mother. Such is the sweetness of Bhakti, where even God himself becomes a child in the arms of his devotee. Then something miraculous happened. As she ran, exhausted, her eyes fell again on Krishna's teeny footprints, soft, tender, and red as fresh lotus petals. At that moment she stopped. "Oh, my dear child, how delicate are your feet," she thought. "Running like this, you must be feeling so much pain. These teeny feet, so soft and tender, how could I make you suffer like this?" Her motherly heart melted. And the moment a devotee surrenders to Krishna's lotus feet, Krishna surrenders to the devotee. Thus Krishna slowed down, and finally he was caught. Yasoda Maya grabbed Krishna. "Today I have caught you. Now I will not let you go," she declared. "Every day I hear complaints about you. Today you have broken the butter pots as well. What a great mischief you have done. I will tie you up today. No more running away." This is Mother's command. And here was the Supreme Lord, who governs the entire universe, standing helplessly before his mother's love. Krishna sobbed, rubbing his eyes with his teeny lotus hands. Tears streamed down his cheeks like pearls falling from a broken necklace. The one whom the whole world fears, the one who is the supreme cause of everything, was now trembling in fear of his mother. Such is the divine play of the Lord, his Vichitra Leela, wondrous pastimes. The Damodar Leela, which devotees sing every day in the month of Kartik. As Yasoda Maya held Krishna firmly, her heart still burning with anger, the news of Gopal's punishment spread quickly through the village. Soon the gopis arrived and began pleading with Yasoda. "Oh Maya, let him go. Please let our little Gopal go. See, he is crying. Do not tie him up." Even the small girls had followed the gopis, and seeing Yasoda's stern expression, they tilted their heads playfully and giggled before hiding behind the gopis in amusement. Meanwhile, the young cowherd boy stood at a distance, watching everything unfold. "Oh no, our dear friend, our beloved Sakha, is about to be tied up. How can we help him? How can we free him?" This is Sakhya Rasa and Vasalya Rasa at play. divine emotions so deep that only a fortunate few can truly understand their sweetness. Krishna looked at his friends and smiled mischievously, but when he turned back to Maya, his smile vanished and he began sobbing loudly. To his friends, laughter, to his mother, tears. Such was his playful Leela. Krishna pleaded with Yasoda, Maya, throw away the stick. Yasoda smirked. Now that I have cut you, what use is the stick anymore? But I will not let you go. I will tie you up today. With that, she threw away the stick and grabbed a rope. Yasoda began tying Krishna to a wooden grinding mortar, Udukhal. She took a rope, wrapped it around his teeny waist, but the rope was 2 fingers too short. She took another rope from inside the house, tied it to the first one and tried again. But again 2 fingers short. How can this be? She thought. Krishna was just a small child, yet no matter how much rope she added, it always fell short by exactly 2 fingers. It was a divine mystery, because Krishna is no ordinary child. He is the Supreme Lord himself. How can we understand this? This was his divine play, beyond the grasp of the material mind and senses. The secret is there is always be 2 fingers of difference between the Lord and his devotee. Finally, seeing that Maya was exhausted, Krishna allowed himself to be bound. Krishna, the Supreme Independent One, the Master of all worlds, can never truly be bound. Yet, today he submitted to the love of his devotee. He accepted the ropes around his teeny waist not out of force but out of love. Thus he was named Damodara, one who is bound by the waist. Yasoda Maya, satisfied, left him there and went back to her household work. Meanwhile, Krishna's friends watched from a distance, their hearts aching for their dear Sakha. How can we free Krishna? How do we help him escape? They whispered. What a divine play this is! The one who liberates all living beings is now bound himself. How do we free the one who frees the entire universe? But Yasoda Maya was still nearby, and her stern motherly presence kept them from stepping forward. They could only watch, worried and helpless. Krishna smiled at his friends, then looked at them knowingly. Kanhaiya, Kanhaiya, they whispered excitedly, signaling to him. Go lower, go lower. Still tied to the heavy mortar, he slowly crawled forward. As he moved, the grinding mortar rolled behind him, dragging along the ground. Krishna crawled between 2 ancient Arjuna trees, and the heavy mortar got stuck between them. Then with just a gentle tug, Krishna pulled. Crack! The 2 massive trees shook violently, their thick roots trembled. Boom! With a loud crash, the twin trees collapsed, uprooted from the ground. A thunderous roar echoed through the village. Hearing the earth-shaking crash, the entire village rushed to the scene. Nanda Maharaj came running in panic. The gopis followed, their hearts pounding. What happened? What happened? They cried. They saw the fallen trees, the grinding mortar still tied to Krishna, and gasped in shock and amazement. This was no ordinary event. This was Krishna's divine play, his Damodar Leela, which even the greatest yogis and sages struggled to comprehend. Such is the sweetness of Lord's pastimes, beyond reason, beyond logic, yet filled with the highest, purest love. The Gopa boys who had witnessed the entire incident rushed forward and narrated everything to the anxious villagers. It was Mother Yasoda who tied Gopal, they said. Then crawling on his knees, he passed between the 2 massive Arjuna trees. As he moved forward, the mortar got stuck, and with a slight pull, both the trees came crashing down. Everyone gasped. Look at Gopal, is he hurt? The gopis and gopas gathered around, carefully examining their beloved Krishna to ensure he was safe. At that very moment, the twin Yamalarjuna trees attained liberation. A celestial radiance filled the air as the two divine beings who had been trapped in the trees due to curse offered their heartfelt prayers to Krishna and ascended to the heavenly realms. This was yet another astonishing Leela of the Lord. Seeing Krishna still bound, Nanda Maharaj rushed forward and untied him. Mother Yasoda has bound up and Maharaj Nanda has freed him. Meanwhile, Mother Yasoda broke into a frantic run, crying out, "Where is my Gopal? What has happened to my child?" Upon reaching him, she collapsed to her knees, holding Krishna tightly in her arms. Tears streamed down her cheeks as she sobbed, What have I done? How could I have tied my Gopal? What madness overtook me? What if something had happened to him?" Overcome with remorse and guilt, she wept bitterly, regretting every moment of her harshness. Krishna, now seated in her lap, gazed at her with innocent twinkling eyes. To console his weeping mother, Krishna gently placed his tiny hands on her lips as if to say, "Maya, don't cry." With a soft, mischievous voice, he said, "Maya, this morning you have made me cry. You didn't let me drink milk and you even tied me up. But now look, you are the one crying." His playful words only made Yasoda cry more, holding Krishna even tighter. This is the Leela of Braj, the divine, heart-melting pastimes of Sri Krishna's childhood. Who can truly understand these mystical pastimes? The Supreme Lord, who liberates all beings from bondage, himself becomes bound by the love of his devotees. His Sakha, cowherd friends stood at a distance filled with concern and wonder. How can we free our dear friend from this bondage? They pondered. How strange it is. The one who removes all bonds is himself bound today. Such is the Sakhya Rasa, the sweet intimate friendship of Krishna's divine play. But who can truly grasp this mystery? This human birth is meant for understanding Krishna in Tattva. Krishna is Tribhanga Lalita. His body bends in three places, standing in an enchanting pose. He is charming beyond compare, surpassing the beauty of millions of cupids. If we mere mortals were crooked, society would reject us. But Krishna, though playfully crooked, is the epitome of divine beauty. His every action is filled with charm. Even his theft is delightful. If an ordinary person steals, he is punished. But when Krishna steals, it becomes divine play, a source of joy for all. Choragra Ganya. Krishna is the king of thieves, the supreme stealer of hearts. Today I have caught this thief. This thief steals everything, butter, clothes of gopis and hearts. He has stolen my mind, my worries and my sorrows, and now I have trapped him forever. O Krishna, you are my prisoner now. I have imprisoned you in my heart, binding you with the ropes of divine love. You shall never escape, for you are forever bound in the jail of my devotion. This is the true purpose of human life, to capture Krishna in the prison of our hearts with the unbreakable ropes of love. That is why human birth is so rare and precious. But how many will truly understand this? Those blinded by ego, material wealth and false knowledge can never grasp Krishna's true nature. Even great yogis and sages struggle to comprehend him. Those who, despite having eyes, fail to behold the beauty of Krishna's divine form are truly blind. Hare Krishna. The Odia devotees who were fortunate enough to hear this divine story from Gurudev's lips are truly blessed beyond imagination. For when Gurudev spoke, he was not in this material world. He was deep within Krishna's Leela, broadcasting it to us from that transcendental realm. If even a single drop of Gurudev's grace touches us, we too shall begin to understand this divine mystery and immerse ourselves in the ocean of Krishna's blissful devotion. May we all one day be bound by the unbreakable ropes of love to Sri Krishna's lotus feet. Hare Krishna.